What's up, guys? Dodgers Randy here for another weekly update. Good news about this one is we finally have real baseball to talk about. Things the players are doing right now versus just hearing everybody talk about what's going to happen. They're actually out on a field now playing baseball, so we're so close. The first game is a week from tomorrow. I will be there. Gonna be just kind of doing my thing while I'm out there. Hopefully going out there for 3 weekends. I don't know for sure. I do know next weekend is for sure and the following weekend. So I'll be doing plenty of vlogging. So do me a favor, if you guys enjoy these videos, hit that subscribe button. And if you're curious about what's going on or want to know when I'm posting videos, you can hit the bell as well, the notification bell, and that'll let you know when I posted a video, because my plan is to get them up as soon as I'm done that night, as soon as I get back to my hotel room, so that way I can get the information out to you guys as soon as possible. But other than that, we've got plenty to talk about, since the pitchers and catchers reported a couple days ago. They had their first official workout a couple days ago. A lot of position players have been showing up. So there's plenty to talk about. So we're going to get into that. First and foremost, though, I'm still kind of trying to figure out as we go what you guys are looking for in these videos. So if you can do me a favor, let me know in the comments if you guys, what you're looking for out of these videos. Especially with spring training. I want to know what you guys are looking for when I go there. I try to add in parts of the game. I do have to be a little bit more careful recording parts of the game now with my subscriber count going up and follower count. I don't want to get in trouble for using game footage, so I'm going to look more into that. But besides game footage, what other things you guys want to see? Food, different stadiums, just a kind of game recap, stuff like that. And then also, if you have any questions for me that you want me to answer on the next weekly update, let me know and I will try to find as much information for you guys and get that back to you the following week. So I'm going to post a comment and pin it to the top. If you guys have any questions that you want in next week's episode, comment there. If it's just a question you have on this video or anything else, just comment below normally. But other than that, let's get into this. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am for baseball to be back. So hopefully this video doesn't take a long time, but I enjoy this stuff. So I'm pretty excited to finally be able to talk to you guys about it. So first thing, really quickly, not current Dodger news, but we all know and loved Ellis, Kershaw's catcher, our catcher for a very long time, and he actually officially retired this last week. He took a job with the Padres as a special assistant to baseball ops. I know a lot of Dodger fans hoped he would come back to LA. I don't really think I ever saw that coming just because of things that happened in the past. But anyways, I'm not going to get into that. Congrats to him. He had a great career. He caught Kershaw's no-hitter. He got to play, I mean, I know him and Kershaw became friends because of the team, but played with his best friend, got to stay in Southern California after he left the Dodgers. So happy for him, and we'll still get to see him around possibly when he's playing our Dodgers. So we'll have to see, but just wanted to let you guys know about that one. And now let's start getting into our Dodgers. The pitchers and catchers actually reported on Tuesday, but their first official full workout was Wednesday, and there were so many answers, questions being answered, things that the players know, fans, as well as media, and kind of what they're getting into for this year. So that's what I'm going to talk about in 1 minute. For those of you that have Spectrum Sportsnet LA, I wanted to let you know that they are televising 20 spring training games, including all the weekend games this spring training. So if you have Spectrum, you have Sportsnet LA, or if you have a way to watch it, maybe not with Spectrum, I'm not going to say how, but there's other ways to get around it. Reddit is something, but you're gonna have to figure out how to do it from there, but there's ways to watch it if you really want to. I think MLB TV might be having them, so if you're not in market, you could check out MLB TV. I would read before you pay for that. Same thing, there's a way to get around. Even if you are in network, there's a way to get around that stuff, but you're gonna have to figure it out yourself because I don't know enough about it. But 20 games, pretty awesome. They're only missing, I think, about 4 games. 2 of them are because it's split squad. 2 of them are away games, not sure why, but pretty much all the games are going to be on TV. So that's super exciting news. Get to watch baseball even sooner. And now let's get into the good stuff. So all of the comments and things I'm going to say to you are all from different writers and reporters who are at spring training right now and bringing that news back. I want to make sure I always give credit where it's due when writers and reporters are giving us information. So I'm not going to tell you who said what exactly. That's going to take too long. But just so you know, from all the comments below, or not below, sorry, from all the comments I'm about to say next, they are from Alana Rizzo, JP Hoornstra, Ken Gurnick, Bill Plunkett, Pedro Mora, and Jorge Castillo. All of them either work for the Dodgers, LA Times, The Athletic, OC Register. So all the information's from them, and I'm going to get into it because it's a lot of interesting stuff. The first thing I'm going to get into players specifically, the important ones. We've got some not the important ones are all important, but the big news ones coming into spring training. I have some info on Seager, Kershaw, Buehler, and Jansen. But before I jump into that, I want to kind of give you guys just the basis around the team stuff. Robert still hasn't made a decision. I think most of us kind of knew this on whether or not Barnes or Martin will get most of the catching time behind the plate. All he said for now is that time will tell. Have to see how offense plays out. Have to see. I don't think defense is going to be a problem. I think both of them are very, very good defensively. So I think it's going to come down to offense more than anything and just staying healthy. So we'll see there. To me, that's really the only kind of weak spot on the team. But if everybody else on the team kind of plays up to their capability, I'm not too concerned about the catchers. They just need to play good defense. Don't be dropping balls, pass balls, stuff like that. We know how that goes and what that's like as a fan with Grandal. We dealt with that. So we may not see much offense out of them, but you never know. So still waiting to figure that out. They did say that Pollock is going to be our center fielder. Bellinger's going to take a lot of fly balls practice at right field, center field, and then, of course, doing some work at first base. However, like I said, Pollock is going to be our everyday center field, but they do expect Bellinger to get some work in there. But it sounds like Bellinger is going to be our right fielder for most of the season. Roberts does believe that the team is less susceptible to left-handed pitching this season. There's more of a balance offensively, and the bullpen depth is better. Puig and Grandal struggled against lefties a lot last season. Their numbers were not good, and those were two players that were in the lineup on almost a daily basis. So, on top of losing Seager, a hurt Turner for most of the season, Turner didn't become himself until the end of the season, at least the last couple months. He had that really bad wrist injury from spring training last year, but he expects the team to just be more consistent this year. They expect the lineup from top to bottom to be putting up consistent at-bats and not having to worry about the platooning so much. Roberts believes with the addition of Pollock and Seager, and the return of Seager, that there's going to be a lot less platooning. I agree. A lot of people keep saying this team is worse. Personally, I know this sounds weird, losing Kemp, Puig, Wood, and Grandal. I truly believe this team will be better than last year's. It's consistency, it's chemistry. We don't know what went on behind closed doors when it comes to Puig and Kemp and all the rumors that went on. Not that I know anything about Kemp this recently, but any of the guys that got traded. So hopefully it's for the better. I think this team's going to do I think they're going to impress a lot of people. My prediction is they're going to have about 97, 98 wins. I think they're going to win the division easily this year. I don't think they'll blow the Rockies out, but I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as close as it was last season, as long as our guys stay healthy. But again, we all know the Dodgers don't stay healthy, but they've got the depth to replace it. If Cody Bellinger can hit lefties a lot better, I also think we're going to be in a much better place. So expect to see more consistent offense than we did last year. We may not have all the home runs like we did, losing Puig and Kemp, but I think we're going to see a lot more of just good baseball being played. Pollock has 8 career errors, while Puig had 8 errors last season. So he's a big upgrade on defense. I know a lot of people don't believe it. But if you look a little bit deeper at his defensive stats, Pollock is a very good center fielder, defensively and offensively when he's healthy. So I know people are still upset about the Puig trade, but I think Pollock will make us pretty happy. Our beloved pitching coach, Rick Honeycutt, is going to miss the first 10 to 14 days of camp after undergoing back surgery. So hopefully it's all well with him and we get him out there as soon as possible. He's tremendously important to this team, so hope he does well and he gets back out there. In regards to more catching stuff, I know everyone's really curious about what's going to happen with Kyber Ruiz, Will Smith. Roberts did say it was unlikely we would see Ruiz this season, and they're looking at the longer, kind of bigger picture for him, which is down the line. So they have no intentions of rushing him because I think he's going to be our catcher for years to come, probably him and Will Smith. However, he did say Will Smith is capable of catching in the majors right now. So if they needed him to, they could. The only thing they want from him is more work offensively. So he's going to start the year off, I believe, in AAA, barring anything crazy at spring training, whatever may happen, injury, or he just absolutely kills it at spring training. But I expect to see him in AAA. And then once he gets those offensive numbers up there, we might see him kind of around the June, July All-Star break. So keep an eye out for him. You can never have too many good catchers, especially with how much of a beating those guys take behind the plate. In some Seager news, which I know is exciting for everybody, myself included, he's currently my favorite player, so I'm beyond excited to have him back. The plan for him is he's still tracking to be ready for opening day. They expect him to be ready to go. Right now, he hasn't hit any setbacks, anything like that. However, the biggest concerns for him right now actually aren't throwing. I think throwing the ball is important, but it's not even necessarily from his Tommy John surgery. What they're more concerned about right now is his defense when it comes to his hip. He had hip surgery. I don't know much about it, but I do know he had hip surgery. I think it was shortly after the season ended, or it was shortly after his TJ surgery. I can't remember. I know he had it and he's been rehabbing that as well. And the issue with that is they're concerned about how long his body is going to be able to hold up standing out there at shortstop all day and bending down and reaching over to get balls and kind of see how he's doing there. Alana Rizzo and I think the Dodgers Instagram and Twitter actually posted pictures and video of him taking ground balls from shortstop. He's not throwing the ball yet from short, I believe. I think he's throwing, I believe they said 90 feet, but he's not making the throw yet from shortstop to first base. But if you want to check that out, there is some video of him playing some baseball, which is so great to see. Roberts also said Seager will start on backfields for the first part of spring training, so we shouldn't expect to see him in games. It might be a week before we see him in games. It could be more, it could be less. But he did say Seager's going to need 50 to 60 at-bats before he can play in an A game. And an A game is the big league games. They have B games, which are in the back usually with minor leaguers or major leaguers who are trying to work some stuff out mechanically, injury. So unfortunately, I or anybody watching on TV or there won't be able to see him the first game, but hopefully when I'm there the following weekend, we'll get to see him. I'd love to get kind of an eye on him and see how he's doing, and if I do, I'll of course let you know. He did also run the bases earlier today, and he was standing in for a bullpen session. So they had him stand in for about 10 to 15 pitches, and he just tracked the pitches while he was standing there. He stood there, got in the batter's box. It was in the bullpen. Obviously, he didn't swing the bat, but he just watched just to get him in that feel of seeing major league pitching again and getting him ready to go. So that's a good sign. I'm thinking we're going to see a pretty good season from him. As long as he stays healthy and there's no issues after the fact from the surgery and everything, I think we're going to have a pretty good season, and I'm hoping we even possibly see an MVP season from him. His career's been incredible so far, and he unfortunately lost a year of it last year. So I just think he's going to come out ready to go and make a quick impact on this team, which will be so great to have back. We missed him last year a lot. For some Kershaw news, he threw his first bullpen on Tuesday. It was 34 pitches, and Martin caught him for the first time since 2010, which is so funny to think about. It's crazy that this team brought back Kemp last year, Martin this year. So it's pretty cool, though, because Kershaw does have kind of a little repertoire with him that they got to work on when he was younger and just getting started. And Roberts about Kershaw had said he's in a good place, he feels healthy, he feels strong, and the flexibility is there. So far, it sounds like Kershaw's feeling good coming out of spring training. From what I heard him say in an interview, it sounds like his biggest thing isn't Obviously, he's not going to talk about the loss of velocity that we all saw last year. All he said was, look, I'm trying to get back what I lost, to be vague. He didn't say exactly what that meant. I think it meant the velocity. I don't think he necessarily wants to address that. It's tough for a pitcher when they lose velocity, and it's so early in spring training. They don't have him throwing out there 100% to know how fast he's actually throwing. So, and if hopefully he can get his velocity back. He's working more on his slider. I don't think that has anything to do with just in case his fastball doesn't do better, but he's trying to get his slider, add more depth to his slider to induce more miss and swings against left-handed hitters. So far, it sounds like Kershaw's in a pretty good place, which we all need. We need him to be healthy. He's super important to this team. Even with Buehler taking over, someone like Kershaw, he's such a leader for this team that you don't want anything to happen to him, even if we have someone who can step in and take his spot. And yeah, so hopefully he's feeling good. He says he is. That's his main concern, is going out there and feeling healthy every 5th day to pitch. So we'll keep an eye on him. I'm hoping he's pitching the first game of spring training. I'll be there. Usually the first game, they only pitch 1 inning. So it'll be interesting to see how he does and see if I'm not sure if they clock his velocity publicly at Camelback Ranch. I don't know if they have that out there, but I'll be interested to see what comes back when he's throwing in a game. And then, as we all kind of knew, Roberts didn't commit to saying who our opening day starter is, but he pretty much insinuated that it would be Kershaw by saying it's not official, but I think we know. I believe it's going to be his 9th year as the starter, so that's really cool that he kept it. Being the opening day starter, I know some people are saying, is it going to be Buehler? Is it going to be Kershaw? Buehler should be our number 1. It's time for him to start taking over. I don't necessarily disagree. I do think Buehler is our guy to go to in big game situation. Dude has ice in his veins like I've not seen a pitcher on the Dodgers in a while have when it comes to a postseason game. He goes out there and he competes, and I love it. So the thing is, though, is opening day, you of course want to win, but it's not the end of the world if they don't. So I think you have to let that Kershaw's legacy play out and give him that opening day start until he's no longer a starter anymore. If he moves into the bullpen, something like that, obviously it will then become Buehler's shot. But until then, or until he retires, I think it should be his opening day. But come playoffs and elimination games, I think we'll start seeing Buehler a little bit more in those situations. And speaking of Buehler, we got some information on him that he was supposed to throw a bullpen on Thursday, but he didn't. It has nothing to do with his health. They're not worried. There's nothing going on. However, they are taking it slow. He is going to be eased into spring training. He had the back issue, I believe, last year when he went in early for spring training. However, they 100%, Robert said they expect him to be a regular starter come opening day. They're not having any inning limits on it. So I would expect to see him pitching our 2nd game of the season. If I remember correctly, we're opening up against the Diamondbacks. So there's nothing to stress out about with him, just because they're taking it slow. They're not worried about any injuries. They want to ease him into it because last year he threw 177 innings in between the minors, the postseason, and the big leagues. And the season before that, he threw 103. So it's a big stretch. They're not putting an innings limit on him, but they don't want to overdo it in spring training, which I get. I'm not too concerned. I think he'll be pitching in maybe not the 2nd game of spring training, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's pitching in that following the following week of games. He also threw 4 bullpens before even showing up and reporting to camp, so he's clearly getting the work in. They just chose to hold him off at camp yesterday instead of having him pitch. This is in regards to Bellinger. There was an article yesterday, and I apologize, I didn't read it. I actually meant to, and I totally blanked, so I could give you guys more information. I believe it was through The Athletic. Through The Athletic. However, it's about Bellinger and how he's not starting every game, and I think that's Pedro Mora writes for The Athletic, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But Bellinger said he felt pretty quote unquote shitty for the way he played in 2018. However, when the season ended, he did look at his numbers and realized he did better than he thought he did and better than he felt. However, he does believe he deserves to be in the lineup every single day. And he plans on, I guess, from what I read on a tweet, he plans on apparently having that conversation with the team. I think the team is on the same page. They want him out there every day. They started him off out there every day last season. He could not hit lefties. It was hurting the team, and that's when they started pulling him. They gave him a couple months. He couldn't adjust, unfortunately. So I don't think Bellinger's got any problem from the front office and manager standpoint. I think they want him in there every day. They just need him to produce. I think they'll leave him in there even if he's struggling against lefties this season because he needs to get better. He's still so young. But last year we were not leading the division towards the end of the season. And so the team had to do what they had to do to get us to win. And in the playoffs, World Series, whatever it may be, you can't take those chances. So I understand why he didn't start every game. So expect to see him hopefully out there for all, I mean, he played all 162 last year, 163, whatever it was. I don't think he missed one game last year. He didn't start every game, but he didn't miss a game. He came in when a righty came in, defensive, whatever. So expect to see a lot of Bellinger this season. Might even lead the team on at-bats, or in at-bats, plate appearances. He's the younger guy out there. He's healthier than Seager, so I could see him leading the team in at-bats and plate appearances this season, which could be super exciting. Last thing comes down to Jansen. We all know how spring training went last year. He got into it very slow, kind of very, I don't care what happens, I'm fine, I don't need to work out type thing. He made the comment, who cares, when he had a slow start to the season. He didn't really, I don't think he pitched in one game last spring training. He was supposed to pitch and then he hurt his hamstring. So it was just kind of a bad vibe all around. Fans weren't happy about his comment, rightfully so, about the who cares. I understood where he was coming from. I don't really care about the comment, but it's probably not one he should have made. It just sounds bad. But he has totally turned it around. He's completely disappointed with himself and how 2018 went. It was the worst, I believe it was the worst season he's ever had in his career. So he's not messing around this year. He started pitching way sooner. He had thrown 5 bullpen sessions before reporting to camp. He dropped a size in his clothing. He went from a XXL to an XL, losing about 20 to 25 pounds. So he's taking it really seriously. I believe he said he was cutting out dairy. Seager lost weight as well. I forgot to mention that. Seager did cut out on dairy, so maybe it wasn't Jansen. I don't know. I just know that Jansen has changed his diet, changed the way he's doing things. And they expect that obviously losing the weight will be much better on his heart, his stamina. So hopefully we get more out of him. Come the end of October, we need him to last it out for an entire season and the postseason. I think we'll see a pretty good season from him too. I really think this is a season we could see a lot of guys turn it around because they're disappointed. Either last year they were hurt. I expect big seasons from Turner. I even expect one from Kershaw, even though he's good every year. I expect a better year than last year. I expect a good year from Seager. Expect a big year from Turner coming back, getting to hopefully play a whole season. No injuries. We're all praying for. And a big season for our guy, Walker Buehler. So it's a pretty exciting time right now for Dodger fans. I know everyone is stressed out and worried that this team isn't good enough. This team they have right now might not be able to win a World Series, and I only say that because the AL is so dominant offensively. However, I am very confident that the team we have now can beat any team in the NL, and this front office MO is to do trades at the trade deadline. So I 100% would not be surprised if that's the case. So just give them a chance. I'm going to give them about a month into the season, month and a half before I start stressing out and worrying about things. Guys got to get back into their groove. So I'm excited for the season to start. And for now, that's all. If you want to stop watching, I don't blame you. It's already been 24 minutes. Do me a favor, though, and hit that like button and subscribe, please. I would appreciate it. For those of you that want to stick around for one more minute, I wanted to show you guys something. It's my early birthday present from my mom. My birthday's next Friday, but I'll be out in Camelback, so she got it for me earlier so I could take it with me to Camelback. I travel a lot, for those of you who know and follow my vlog or any of my social media. So I wanted to get myself a good Dodgers bag. And the reason why I'm showing this to you is because I'm sure there's plenty of you who would like a nice traveling bag, and it's $100 on Fanatics, so it's not one of those things that you really want to spend money on without maybe knowing more about it. But it's a Herschel Supply Co. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show the whole thing, but it's ridiculously sturdy. Like the bottom, it's super nice. It's got the nice shoulder strap. The inside's super cool. Let me see. Wait. There you go. The inside's super cool. Got the LA logo. A bunch of pockets. It's got... Actually, wait, it doesn't have a bunch of pockets. It's got one big pocket, and then this small side pocket you can put your shoes in, so you can have them in the bag without making it a mess. There's more pockets inside, but I love it. It's going to be my travel bag this year to go to any games. Like I said, that's on Fanatics. I'll put a link in the bio below. My mom paid for it. It's not a promo. It's not Fanatics. Has no idea I'm telling you guys about it. I'm just telling you because I think it's cool, and other fans might appreciate it. But other than that, I, as always, appreciate your guys' support and watching these videos. I hope you guys are ready for spring training like I am. I will be out there next week. I have to figure out how I'm going to do weekly updates when I'm already out there and recording games. So be ready for some updates. Be ready for more videos because we're almost in baseball season. So I'll definitely be having videos out to you guys. At least for spring training when I'm there every day, and then once season starts, we'll be having a lot more. So I hope you guys are ready, and let's just be there, support our team. And if you're at spring training, do me a favor, let me know. I'd love to meet you guys. Other than that, hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I'll catch up with you guys next week when I am in Arizona. All right, bye guys.